come down and join you down here. If all of the veterans that are here would like to join us for a photo op here, I'll read it down here.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I'd like to have all of our veterans that are here representing our VFW, Veterans of Foreign War, Los Vets of Fillmore and Piru, and the American Veterans United group. And these are our veterans here that will continue to go ahead and work providing services for other veterans. We meet once a month. We take a look at what the issues are, how we can help. And I think it's wonderful to not only recognize our veterans, but active military and their families as well. So thank you very much for having this resolution for November being Veterans and Active Military Services. Thank you all, City Council and Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. So the proclamation reads, whereas the City of Fillmore holds deep gratitude and profound respect for the brave men and women who have served or are currently serving in the United States Armed Forces, and whereas veterans and active military personnel have made countless sacrifices to protect the freedoms and liberties enjoyed by all citizens of Fillmore and the nation, and whereas November provides an opportunity for residents, businesses, and organizations in Fillmore to collectively honor and remember the courage, service, and sacrifice of all military veterans and active duty service members. And whereas recognizing and supporting veterans and military families enhances civic engagement and fosters a great sense of community, and whereas Fillmore is committed to providing ongoing support and gratitude to veterans and active military personnel through various initiatives, events, and services during the month of November and throughout the year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Carrie Brogy, Mayor of the City of Fillmore, and on behalf of the Fillmore City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of November as Veterans and Military Families Month in the City of Fillmore. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Fillmore, California, to be affixed the 22nd day of October 2024. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Is that okay if we do this?
Smile. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Smile.
Smile.
There you go.
Thank you.
Short
Thank you,
guys up
gentlemen.
front, right?
Thank you. She put 5A.
Thank you very much. And those kind of presentations, both the award that our budget department received and then the veterans, that's what makes this job up here fun for all of us, I think. We can give them just a moment to leave the room here. Okay, so let's move on then to our next agenda item. We are now going to recognize, let's see, a proclamation proclaiming November as Veterans and Military Families Month, which we did the certificate. So we move on to our public comments. And as far as public comments go, we have, I believe, is Tim present? Okay, Tim, thank you.
You'll get copies of this later on. Good evening, council members. My name is Tim Garola, a lifelong resident of Fillmore and a board member of Tender Life Maternity Home. I'm here on behalf of Jim Duran, Executive Director of Tender Life, who regrets he cannot be present tonight because he's currently serving the city of Ventura as one of their elected officials. As many of you know, the blessing of pregnancy is often accompanied by joy and celebration, but for women caught in cycles of poverty, addiction, or abuse, pregnancy can feel like a burden, leading to fear, abandonment, and despair. That's where Tender Life Maternity Home steps in. Since 1985, Tender Life has served as a beacon of hope for at-risk pregnant women, empowering them to overcome their challenges and embrace the journey of motherhood. Our mission is to equip these women with the tools they need to become confident and capable parents who can thrive as members of society as well. We aim to break generational cycles and create brighter futures for both mothers and their children. The impact of this work extends far beyond the walls of our home, touching future generations and our broader communities. Tender Life operates from a beautiful home in downtown Ventura, where we house up to 8 mothers and their babies. Our faith-based approach offers women love and support in a structured, safe space. Our 24-hour on-site house manager and case management team work closely with each woman to ensure she has everything she needs to succeed. In just the past 5 years, 49 babies have been born at Tender Life, each entering the world with the hope for a better tomorrow. The transformation these women experience is life-changing, and we are deeply proud of the progress they make. Now I'm thrilled to share the great news. Tender Life is expanding into Fillmore with a graduate home. This new home will host 2 mothers and their babies who have successfully completed our program and are now in our graduate phase. These women are gainfully employed, own their own cars, maintain savings accounts, and are working to become debt-free. Importantly, they are on their way to becoming completely independent without the need for government assistance. These graduates will be valuable contributors to the Fillmore community. We would love to invite you to join us for a meet and greet at our new Fillmore graduate home, 237 Fillmore Street, on Friday, November 15th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. This will be a wonderful opportunity to learn more about Tender Life, meet our residents, staff, and board of directors, and tour the property. Refreshments and light appetizers will be served, and we hope you can join us to see firsthand the difference this new resources will make for the city of Fillmore. Thank you for your time, your support, and for welcoming Tender Life into the Fillmore community. So you have a copy of the letter and as well a little flyer on it. And I know, Lalo, you'll be pleased to see the difference in the house over there. It's located right down the street here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim, very much.
Thank you.
And then we have another public speaker. We have Annette Sula. Are you available?
I was hoping to speak before the the veterans all left, but I wanted to just acknowledge how happy I am that we honored them, because they do deserve it. You know, that every time this time of year I think of my father, and he fought in World War II and was wounded, but not seriously, thank God. And, you know, he did that because he loved this country. It wasn't the country he was born in, but it was the country he chose to live in and chose to become a citizen of. And he was so excited when he found out that if he volunteered, he would become an automatic citizen in the United States. And so the veterans have done so much for our country, and I think it's really wonderful that we're honoring them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Okay. Then I think that concludes our public comment session. So now we'll move on to public communication. So I apologize here, I'm shuffling. I'm sorry. I'm, yeah. Item number 7, City Council reports, recommendations, and comments. What I'd like to do, this is going to spring this on somebody here, but I'd like to pass over the microphone this evening, if I may, to our pro tem. Would you be objectionable to that? I'm kind of not feeling very well.
No, not at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Should we just trade seats here?
Okay, so we'll continue with item number 7, City Council reports, recommendations, and comments. Is there anybody with any comments?
Yep, Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. I do have a couple. So I just, let's see here, I wanted to follow up just a couple of updates of where we've been with council. All of us, Mayor Pro Tem wasn't able to make it, but the other 4 of us were at the down in Long Beach this past week for the Cal Cities Annual Conference. This is a conference where elected officials, mayors, council members, as well as staff from all different departments get together. It was a really great conference, and it happens every year. It kind of goes back and forth between Sacramento and Long Beach. And a couple of, just to highlight a few of the sort of the breakout sessions and general sessions. We heard about an economic forecast. We heard about home ownership, emergency preparedness, how to navigate California's housing laws. There was a few breakouts on homelessness and sort of different partnerships. It was really an exercise in looking at best practices across California and different communities. So it was really well attended, and I'm glad that most of us were able to go, and I think we all got something out of it that we can share back here in the community. I also just want to note that September 15th to October 15th was Hispanic Heritage Month, and our state senator, Monique Limon, held an actual in-person, she usually sends out a video newsletter every month about what the latest is happening up at the state, but she did an in-person tea with Limon in Ventura, at the Ventura Museum. Again, it was great. We had a little update from Senator Limon. Assemblymember Bennett was also there, and as well as Congressman Salud Carbajal, who isn't our representative, but he represents Ventura and Santa Barbara County. So that was really nice to hear some updates again across our different levels of government. And let's see, just really shortly here. I think that was it. One more thing too. I'm a representative on the Southern California Edison Government Advisory Panel, and we had sort of a quarterly meeting about 2 weeks ago. And the update on that was our presenter from Southern California Edison shared that the electrical load in our area has grown to around 40%. And I mean, our area, sort of the Ventura County area, in the last 2 years. And Edison was asking for cities, saying, please help us to loop them in when we begin to plan large developments and rezone areas. So it was something for city council members to take note of and to work with our planning department. And that was kind of the main message from Edison, just to give us as much of a heads up and see where, if we have a large developments coming in, to make sure that we have, they know about that and they're able to if it adds significant load to the electric grid, we're prepared. So that's it. It's my quick update.
Thank you. Any other council members with comments? Just wanted to extend another thank you to all of the presenters tonight, especially our veterans. I look forward to the great events they have planned for the month of November. It's a great thing to see the increase of participation in those veterans groups and additional veterans groups to the more traditional ones. All right, we'll move on to item number 8, the consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item passes. And now new business, item 9A, introduction of ordinance number 24-977, updating the formal and informal bidding limits for public works.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Madam Mayor, fellow council members. The Public Contract Code requires that public works projects over 5,000 be competitively bid. This typically involves longer lead times to award construction contracts and costs associated with drawing up plans and specifications. Recognizing this can be a burden to smaller public works projects, the state legislature enacted the California Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act in 1983. The act is intended to promote uniformity in cost accounting standards, bidding procedures on construction works performed by or by contracted by public entities in the state. The act also created a commission that among the responsibilities considers economic factors affecting public works projects, setting limits on public agency projects that can be performed by force account, a simplified or informal bidding process, or those that must adhere to formal bidding procedures. The act is a voluntary program available to public entities in the state, but only applies to those public agencies that have opted in to be subject to the provisions set forth by the act. On March 11th, 1997, the City Council elected to become subject to the act. In 2018, the Commission adjusted the threshold limits and the City approved Ordinance 18898 to raise the dollar limits in accordance with state law. Projects of $60,000 or less may be performed by city crew, negotiated contracts, or purchase order. Projects $200,000 or less may be bid using the informal bidding procedures. Projects greater than $200,000 would be advertised with formal bidding procedures. This year, the Commission reviewed the limits and adjusted them for inflation and other factors. The increases will come in effect on January 1st, 2025. Projects $75,000 or less to be performed by city crew contracted out without a competitive bidding process. Projects costing up to $220,000 can be let informally. Projects over $220,000 are to be let by City Council using formal bidding procedures. The ordinance under consideration in this report will update portions of Chapter 540 to reflect these new bidding limits. It is therefore recommended that the City Council introduce the first reading of an ordinance entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fillmore, California, amending Fillmore Municipal Code Section 540-040 to update the informal bidding process for public works construction projects and waive further reading. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions from council members?
Okay.
No, and there's no public comment, so I'd like to just open up for discussion.
I'll move to approve if you want me to.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got the title right here.
I'll second.
I'm old game. I move to approve ordinance number 24-977, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Fillmore, California, amending portions of the City Fillmore Municipal Code, Chapter 5.4, to update the informal bidding process for public works construction projects.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, item passes. On to item 9B. City Council creation of an ad hoc subcommittee for the city manager recruitment.
I'll be presenting this item tonight, Mayor Pro Tem. So as we all know, City Manager Dave Rowlands recently gave notice that he'll be leaving employment with the city at the end of this month. So as a result of this, it's recommended that the City Council create an ad hoc subcommittee that can work on the city manager recruitment to allow tasks to be moved forward while we have the holidays and the various breaks, including selecting a recruitment firm. So if the council could please discuss and decide whether to create this ad hoc, I'm here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. We do have one public comment for item 9B, Mr. John Meadows.
Thank you, council, and thank you for proclaiming November as Veterans and Military Families Month. Because of them, we're able to do this. We don't do near enough for them. Regarding your ad hoc subcommittee for the city manager recruitment, various times through the week I deal with a lot of other business owners in town, various businesses, and we have great concern of having a new city manager. And we want to make sure that we get this right. This is a big deal for Fillmore. If we don't have proper management, we lose the connection between you guys and all of us out here and staff. And it creates a tremendous amount of strain and confusion for everyone, not only you guys, staff, but the citizens of the town as well. I want to volunteer my time for this committee to help in any way I can, and I'm sure there will be other businesses in town that would maybe want to follow suit for that. Just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, we'll open it up to council member comments or questions.
I was going to say, I'm just going to jump right in because there's only two people that can be sitting on this ad hoc committee. It's Carrie and Albert, because I may not be here, Christina may not be here, and you definitely will not be here. So those are our two ad hoc, because it's going to be a process that takes 6-8 months to go through. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, I would agree with that recommendation. It just makes sense for continuity purposes. I'd like to nominate Albert and Carrie as well, so maybe second.
Yeah, thank you, Council. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Rostam. I'm in complete agreement. Okay. So, do we ask you for a motion, Mayor Pro Tem?
Well, he moved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I seconded his motion, so I guess we can take it to a vote at this time. All in favor of Carrie and Albert being appointed to the ad hoc committee?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item passes.
Thank you.
All right, item 9C, interim city manager agreement.
Following up on that prior item, the council has asked the Assistant City Manager, Erica Herrera-Terriquiz, to fill in as the interim city manager for the next 6 months or so as the recruitment for the new city manager is undertaken. So there's a contract being presented to you to consider that interim appointment. It would place her at a salary of $220,000 per year. It would retain her current benefit level, and it includes a provision that if she is not selected to be the new city manager, that she returns to her position as assistant city manager. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
And I don't believe we received any public comment cards. Nope, okay. So we'll open it up to council member questions.
Mayor Pro Tem, I don't have any questions, but just a comment that I think this is the right move for us as a city right here to approve this contract for Ms. Herrera-Terriquiz, who's done an outstanding job as assistant city manager and is now fulfilling the role as interim.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that statement. Many times the assistant city manager just kind of steps in when the city manager's out, but that's, potentially long-term here is what we're looking at as we conduct a search. And that's very important, especially in recognizing that it essentially creates additional work to what you've already been doing. So I appreciate your willingness to step into this role and look forward to the process, and hope you apply.
I just have a comment myself. I knew that this day was going to come at some point in time where Dave was going to move on. He's been here 11 years. But we're so fortunate, I think, to have somebody of Christina's caliber to step into this position. and I just really appreciate, your willingness to do so. And I'm thrilled. So, thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll move that the city council approve interim city manager agreement to appoint the assistant city manager to the position of interim city manager.
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Item passes. All right, moving on to item 9D, authorization for payment request number 2 to Hearthstone Multi-Asset Entity for Pole Creek Bridge in the Heritage Valley Parks Community Facilities District number 5.
Excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor, I have a conflict. I'll need to step out of the room during this item.
And I will also step out of the room due to conflict.
I guess it's me.
Councilmember Austin.
Maybe I didn't look at the map correctly.
I don't know.
Okay, I guess if in the review, yeah. I'll take a look when I'm out there and then let you guys know. All right.
Did he already announce the item? I think he did, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Right. Okay, great. Good evening, council members, Mayor Brogy. I'm Deborah Cavaletto, Finance Director. Tonight, staff is requesting the City Council authorize payment number 2 to Hearthstone construction cost associated to the Pole Creek Bridge. The City and Griffin Homes has entered into an acquisition agreement for the Community Facilities District number 5 in January of 2006, and the rights and obligations were subsequently assigned to Hearthstone in an agreement in March of 2010. CFD number 5 consists of 2 improvement areas, A and B. The agreement is to pay back the developer, who is Hearthstone, with CFD proceeds for public improvements associated with the areas. That included the 795 homes of the Hearthstone project. Improvements include the easterly and westerly levees, parks, certain street improvements, the El Dorado Creek, and the Pole Creek Bridge. 2 bonds were issued on the behalf of the CFD areas, which allocate approximately $15.8 million for A and $18 million for B. Pole Creek falls under CFD B. So on September 26, 2023, payment number 1 was issued for the El Dorado Creek, Flood Control Creek, approximately of $11.7 million. Tonight, payment number 2 is related to costs incurred with the connection to construction of the Pole Creek Bridge. The city had Wildan Financial and Services conduct an audit of the itemized expenses submitted by Hearthstone, and resulted in the payment request of $7,548,605.95, which includes a 10% retention amount. This is okay under the provision of the agreement. The current variable funds, however, will not be able to, are lower than the payment requested. So the request tonight, as you see in the payment request that we requested in the board letter, will be $6,223,054.62, again, including a 10% retention. The payment is allowable under Section 5.06A of the agreement and is payable when funds are available in accordance with the terms. And this item meets the City Council goals in terms of the areas of financial management, smart growth, and infrastructure. That is it. End of my presentation. Available for questions.
Any questions for staff? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll move that the City Council authorize the payment request number 2 for $6,223,054.62 relating to the Heritage Valley Park construction costs for Pole Creek Bridge components incurred by the developer, Hearthstone Multi-Asset Entity, CLP, with funds from the Community Facilities District, CFD number 5, Series 2023, special tax bonds construction.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion. I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And I apologize, Dave and I were talking, and you were definitely in the right to stay, so I apologize. So many times we both recuse at the same time. Yeah. All right, moving on to item number 10, committee, commission, and board reports. Anybody? Okay. All right, seeing none, moving on to item 11, city manager verbal report.
Thank you. Just like to congratulate Deborah and Ambry for putting together the budget and working with our budget ad hoc committee with city council and all the staff that helped out. Greatly appreciated to get that award again. Excellent job. Very congratulations on the interim appointment. A number of employees have talked to me and said they got your back and they will do what they need to help you out to make sure you are successful in the interim position. Congratulations and good luck if you apply for the overall position. My voice is going, so I'm going to stop talking.
All right, is that it, Dave? All right, thanks. All right, moving on to item number 12, closed session. The city council will conduct a closed session pursuant to government code section 54957B to continue the process for the future appointment for an employee to the position of city manager. We'll adjourn the meeting or recess the meeting to our closed session. Council met in closed session and was updated by staff. No reportable action. The meeting is adjourned until the next city council session on November 12th at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers. Meeting adjourned.